Well, not going to do my usual walk towards the camera intro that I've been doing, so kind of just want to get this out as fast as possible since it's still opening weekend. So yeah, this is my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, spoiler free. So yeah, this is the movie that's showing us where Scott Lang is at in the MCU, as it's been hinted at in other shows and movies like Miss Marvel, with him running his own podcast where he basically tells everyone what happened during the Infinity Saga and just about all the heroic acts that happened, from Tony Stark's sacrifice to really just about everything in between. So I guess that explains how all that was public knowledge, because before it was just public knowledge and there was no explanation, but I guess it's Scott Lang. Also, he made a memoir, and I guess he's also dealing with the fact that he was gone for 5 years, and his daughter Cassie, she got into trouble with the law, very similar to him, and got arrested a few times and had to be bailed out, and he's fearing that she's going down not a good path, kind of like him, and maybe it's also her kind of rebelling for him being gone for 5 years, even though that was out of his control. But nonetheless, the story brings together all the usual cast: Wasp, Hope Van Dyne, along with Hank, Scott's mentor, treating him like the son he never had, and his wife Janet, who they rescued in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, yeah. And this movie kicks off with as shown in the trailer, when Cassie Lang makes the little tracker device for the quantum realm, and it sucks in just about everyone who I just said there into the quantum realm. So it definitely lives up to the title of Quantumania. Only about 15% of this movie, maybe less, takes place on Earth. Most of it is in the quantum realm. So, yeah, I guess here's a few shots from the quantum realm. But yeah, nonetheless, the main big attraction is how this movie is setting up Marvel's next big villain. And I can't really go into spoilers on how this ends, but all I can say, spoiler-free, is Kang the Conqueror is an absolute badass, and I can't wait to see more of him. And also I want to say now, he is confirmed to come for Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, and he could potentially come back for more. So be ready to see more of him, because Jonathan Majors really killed it, and really like how he's a lot like the Empire in the original Star Wars trilogy, where he doesn't really raise his voice. He just has a very commanding presence, and he uses that to his advantage, along with his powers that aren't actually superpowers or magic or anything. I guess it's just really advanced technology to where he can manipulate time and universes and time travel and just a bunch of other shit like that. That's just amazing. And also could disintegrate anybody on the spot that he wants, as you see in that shot in the trailer where he's just like screaming and launching those little beams out that just vaporize you on impact. But yeah, nonetheless, he was definitely a solid villain. And there is another villain, I'll admit, he's kind of the more jokey villain, but he still has a few badass moments. I don't get why everyone says that he was just weak. And plus, in the comics, that's kind of the way he's treated in the comics, too. The only version of this villain who I've seen who wasn't treated like a joke was in the Avengers game. That was really the only one. And here's a few images of the two villains, Kang, along with MODOK. I'm gonna go ahead and share the photo that doesn't show his actual face. That's just a mask cover. I want to just, since this is spoiler free, I don't want to go into who's behind the mask, so let's just leave it at that. I'll discuss that in the spoiler video. But yeah, nonetheless, I really enjoyed going into the quantum realm in this, because we only got a small glimpses of it before, like in the first Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, when Hank went in to rescue her, or Janet, and after that we didn't really see much other than the little bits of going through the quantum realm in Avengers Endgame when they did the time travel. So it's real nice to see the full universe. in the quantum realm, and also the story on why Kang was just kind of sitting there waiting for his chance to strike. And definitely really can't wait to see him come back, because he comes in and makes his presence known. As you saw in the trailers, you see him batter and bruise Scott, so he definitely, oh boy, and there are some scenes where he is just really evil. He thinks what he's doing is for the right cause, for the right reasons, but in reality, he's a monster, kind of like what Janet said about him. And as you saw in the trailer, that's why she's so scared, because she's interacted with him before and she knows how powerful he is. She doesn't even call him by his actual name Kang for a while, she just calls him the Conqueror. But yeah, nonetheless, I guess the last things I gotta say, this movie was great at setting up the future of the MCU. Definitely a solid start to Phase 5. And I definitely gotta say I disagree with Sean Chandler of Sean Talks About. This movie is not just a great MCU big picture movie, it's also a great Ant-Man movie. I really liked what they did with the arcs for Scott, Janet, Hope, Cassie, and Hank. All of them, I really liked what it did. It did a great job of handling all that. So, if there isn't going to be another Ant-Man movie after this, I feel like this is the best place to end it. It's not like Iron Man 3, where there were definitely some threads that needed to be put together. So, I definitely feel it's not like that. And I'd say go see this movie as soon as you can. It's absolutely wonderful. And definitely don't get why some people criticize this movie for being like Star Wars. I thought that the Star Wars comparisons were for how pretty amazing the world building was with the quantum realm. And definitely don't believe or buy the criticisms that this movie is like fucking Shark Boy and Lava Girl and Spy Kids. No, the CGI is nothing like that. Let me put it that way. This CGI in this movie was absolutely wonderful. Not a shot really looked off. And for one of the villains, if you get used to him, he really doesn't look that bad. And also, the movie was shot by the same cinematographer who shot Shang-Chi and Spider-Man 2. So, they did get a pretty damn good cinematographer to shoot this movie. And you see it on full display with the action. So, yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace.